All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about open coding of qualitative data. My name is Dr. Michael Garver, professor of marketing, Fire Up Chips. Let's get started, right? So we've got all this data, 15 hours of focus groups or interviews. We got 22 pages of complaints. We've got 48 pages of product reviews, and it's all over the place, right? We've got all these puzzle pieces all over the place, and our job is really simple. Put the puzzle pieces back together so that when we present our data, we can do it quickly. We get the big picture, but also the details, and it kind of goes together nicely. Remember, it's a 10-minute campfire story that's engaging, that's awesome, with D squared. So how do we do that? So open coding is the foundation of all of this, and it's kind of easy to understand, simple but not easy, if you will, right? And so open coding, when we think, what we're doing is we're looking for themes in the data. So a theme might be ease of use, or a theme might be working hard, or a theme might be great product, right? And concepts are the same thing. We're, in a way, what I'm trying to do is give you different words that all pretty much mean the same. So the concept that they're discussing is ease of use or great customer service, right? And these are ideas that they're talking about, right? Or different topics, right? So I'm talking about the same thing, right? And different people use these terms, and I want you to be aware of them. But open coding, our job is to find the concepts, to define them, and to really let us know what's going on, right? Now, one of the things that we want to think about concepts with is the level of abstraction, right? Sometimes, so when we're presenting data, often we want a higher order level of distraction or abstraction because it's easier to talk to executives in that way, and then use concrete examples as the evidence, if you will, right? So let me give you a quick example of higher order abstraction versus concrete examples. So with my daughter, one of the concepts we talk about all the time is if you want to be great at something, you've got to work hard. Dedicate yourself, right? That's the higher order abstraction, right? And then the concrete examples of working hard are you've got to put in 30 days in a row of softball practice for at least a half hour a day, right? Or before school, you should do tea work for 10 minutes before you go to school. Or you see what I'm going. Or you run ski hills 3 nights a week and do the side-by-sides 4 nights a week, right? So the higher order abstraction, everybody seems to get that, right? It's easy, like in work hard, right? 2 words, you know kind of what's going on, but then we've got concrete examples, right? And so lots of times when we present the higher order abstraction because it's a little bit easier to kind of first take in, and then we use the concrete examples often as evidence. Let's give you an example of open coding. I think this is the best way to do it. So I recently bought a drone, and I read product reviews. I read a whole bunch of them. I went on YouTube. I watched them. You name it. So let's read some of these on the drone, and let's get started. All right. So here are 3 comments that product reviews. Right. I read like thousands, and but we're gonna take these 3 and we're gonna analyze them. And come up with open coding for them. Now, the first thing we know is that in the process for doing this, we take one at a time and we analyze that data one at a time, and then we start looking across. So let's follow Garver's advice, because I think it's pretty good advice, and look at the first one. So here it is. Here's the review. Hey, it's a great and well-built drone. However, I broke my steady grip within a month of having it. I only purchased the drone because I've read that unique customer service was above and beyond. Boy, was I wrong. When I was on the phone with the tech explaining my situation, the tech all of a sudden could not hear me, or the call suddenly dropped. I'm glad only the steady grip was the only thing that got damaged, or I would have been in a world of trouble. Again, it's a great drone, but customer service sucks badly. Best advice, buy the drone from Amazon and get the 4-year warranty. Unique don't tell you, but they only include a 6-month warranty, and anything can happen in that short amount of time. All right, what are some of the concepts there, right? We're going to analyze this first review individually, and then we'll start looking across. So the first thing that we hear is it's a quality product, right? And we started off with this, and the concrete example, the evidence, the quote, which is the evidence, is it's a great and well-built drone. Boom, there we go. And by the way, so we're going to use, just so you know, we're going to use quotes in our presentation because we're going to talk about the power of a quote. But we use it here in the analysis because it gives us evidence, right? I'm not making this stuff up. It gives us evidence, right? Okay, so that's the first thing, is quality product. Then we have a great reputation for customer service, right? So I only purchased the drone because I've read unique customer service was above and beyond. Boy, so they have a great reputation out there for customer service. And now, poor and misleading customer service. All of a sudden could not hear me, or the call suddenly dropped, right? Now we might go into the warranty aspect, but these are three concepts, three themes that came out of that data. Okay, let's do this. Let's go analyze the second one. The Q500 itself is very nice. I bought this because I read they had good tech support and always answered the phone. I bought this in April, and a week later found out they were coming out with a new model. By the way, I called and asked them about it and was told the new one would be much more expensive and only come with one battery. Then it took me 4 freaking months and about 30 phone calls to finally get my upgrade parts. So basically, they lied to me almost every time I called. Woo! Look, they put that in all caps too. All right. And so it's interesting because you can kind of feel this review a little bit, right? So let's analyze this one. So to analyze the second review, again, it starts off with quality product. The Q500 itself is very nice. Great reputation for customer service. I bought this because I read they had good tech support and always answered the phone. Okay, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to start kind of looking across almost these first two immediately because we're seeing common themes. All right, we go to the third concept, slow customer service. Then it took me 4 freaking months and about 30 phone calls to finally get my upgrade parts, right? And you might even, these are the labels I'm giving them. You may come up with slow and, this slow customer service is definitely it, but we don't really address in that label the 30 phone calls aspect of it, right? So we may want to come up with a better label, right? Misleading customer service. Quote, so basically, they lied to me almost every time I called. Got it. Okay? So those are 4 themes that we came in the second one. Now let's look at the third interview or the product review. Their service used to be great. Now something has changed. It's hard to get a straight answer, and it's hard to get issues resolved quickly or at all. Thank goodness it's a solid quality product, but customer service has nosedived. All right, this is a little bit easier because it's only 4 lines. Let's get after this one. So analyze the third review. Quality product. It's a great and well-built drone. Great reputation. Their service used to be great. Now something has changed, right? Slow customer service, and it's hard to get issues resolved quickly or at all. And then we got misleading customer service. It's hard to get a straight answer, right? So looking across these reviews, here's what I got, a nice table. And by the way, I think these tables work really good for exactly what we're doing, right? I mean, if we're trying to talk about these concepts, we got the concept and then we got a quote that really drives it home. It's evidence, but it's also super engaging when you make a presentation like this. So concept, quality product. It's a great and well-built drone. Got it. Customer service. Reputation lost is the name that I gave this, right? Because everybody's saying the same thing. They used to be great and now they're bad. Their service used to be great. Now something has changed. Quote. Good. Slow customer service. And it's hard to get issues resolved quickly or at all. And again, I don't know if slow customer service is maybe the best label. Maybe we can come up with a better label. Bring it up to me in class if you got one. And then we have misleading customer service. It's hard to get straight answers. So basically, they lied to me almost every time I called. So what we did here is we took 3 product reviews, we analyzed them individually, we came up with the concepts, and then we looked across these concepts to talk about the product and what we're seeing in the data in these open codes or themes or concepts, right? And what we really want to do is when we do this, we look at different levels of abstraction, right? So the concepts are maybe the higher order level abstraction. The quotes are great because they give us evidence, right? So if we're doing this in a group and someone said, well, how do you know it's equality? I would give them the quotes to support my findings. But the quotes also are incredible when we present this type of data. All right, and I like the table format. All right, so level of abstraction is something that we want to talk about a little bit more. So we got the higher order is poor customer service, right? And what we see with this, there's like three lower order concepts in there. It's misleading, it's slow, we might even have frustrating in there, maybe that's what the 30 phone calls is, it's frustrating, and reputation lost, meaning we used to be good and now we're not. Here's a customer experience model. Sometimes we like to see figures like this where and this is higher order, for example, right? And so if you think on the right, that's the customer experience, and a quality product has a positive influence on that customer experience, and customer service as a negative influence on that. Okay, that's one way to look at it. This is another. I like to do these drawings, and I found business people love these. Another way to do it would be with a little bit more detail in it, right? So we could have a quality product at the higher order abstraction, customer service, and then we could have a box that looks like this, where you've got the big picture. It's poor customer service. It has a negative impact on customer experience, but then it has, if you would, the three lower order facets to it, right? We got the reputation lost and slow and misleading, right? That's not a bad way to do it. Hey, the bottom line is what we're trying to do with open codes is there's this data that's all over the place. We're going to try and make sense of it, and then we put it together so that it does make sense, and we break it down. And remember, our objective is a 10-minute campfire story with D squared. And anyhow, today was about open coding. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next exciting episode of Marketing 450.